Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and it's that time again. Can you believe that August is already past? I can't even, it went in a blink of an eye. So today we're going to look at the pictures that I colored. Let's see, 3, 6, 7, 8 pages. And so let's dive in, shall we? Okay, first up this is a book that I got quite a while ago. I absolutely adore it. It's adorable, and I've been meaning to color in it for quite some time. So it's Nelko Neko, and it's the story of Precious Cat. And I thought it would be fun to do this page. So it's very much a summer page. I used Neocolor 2s and my Holbein pencils. So I went in with the Neo colors, and then I just added some highlights with my Holbein, and then here I used a little bit of Posca. But I really like how this page turned out. I think it's very vibrant and fun, and they're just so stinking cute. So this won't be the last page I do in this book, for sure. Okay, next up, I did a buddy color along with Sherry Denowitz, who has been a long-time subscriber here to the channel, and a newer subscriber, Coloring Biker Mama. Now, Jolanda from Coloring Biker Mama has her own YouTube channel, so I'll put links to the ladies below. Sherry has an Instagram, and we did a trio color. Well, the three of us did a buddy color. And I really appreciate doing this page with them because this book is just so fun. It makes me smile every time I see the pages, and I really enjoyed working with it. Ellie sends her best to everyone. So apologies, she always has to chime in, doesn't she? But I used, once again, I used Neocolor 2s, and then that was pretty much it. I didn't go over it with colored pencil at all. I did use a little bit of white Posca for some minor highlighting, and a Lynx pen, which is a brand of like gel pen. I'll put a link in the description box below, but for the gold here. And that was pretty much it. I used, so when I used my Neocolor 2s on this, this paper is a little on the thinner side, so I was worried about bleed through. As you can see, I didn't get any. But I used an alcohol blender to blend out my Neocolors, and I really like the effect that it had. And so if you're interested in that, there is a full color along on the channel, so I'll try and remember to link that in the description box below. But this will not be the last page I do in this book because it's just too much fun. Did I tell you what the name of it was? Well, of course not. That would be way too organized. This is Coloring with Your Octopus by Brian Kessinger, and he has quite a few other books. So look him up on Amazon, which is where I got this book. And here, I'll get the glare out for you guys. But there's Time Traveling with Your Octopus, Traveling with Your Octopus, and Walking with Your Octopus. So I may be getting one of those in the future, but anyway, I just think this book's adorable. Okay, so I'm going to pop up on the screen the other two ladies' pages because they did a phenomenal job, and I so enjoyed getting to know them and give them some love. Go to their Instagram and give them a like and subscribe. So, thanks, ladies. All right, next up is one that a subscriber asked me to do. She wanted to do a color along or color something for her daughter. and for like a Christmas present. And I was a little nervous about doing it, to be honest. So, you know, because it's going to be for somebody's Christmas present. But she wanted me to use Crayola pencils. And Crayola is one of those pencils that on this type of paper can be really challenging to use, in my opinion, because it really doesn't lay down the pigment like some other pencils do. And for an impatient little soul like me, that can be a little challenging. But I overcame it, and I gotta say, it came out a lot more vibrant and nice. So it wasn't as bad as I expected. I had done one, you'll see, I did one in my Disney page where you can really see how much the pigment or how much the paper makes a difference with the pigment. But I think it turned out okay. I haven't heard from her. I hope she's very happy with it. So Jolene, this one's for you. But it's just Crayola pencils, colored pencils, with a little Posca for some highlights, like here on the mushrooms and such. And once again, could I tell you the name of the book? Yes. So Garden Gnomes, Teresa Goodrich, whom I just really love all of her stuff. She has another one coming out, you guys. It's Christmas Gnomes. And so I think it comes out September 17th. I already have it on pre-order. It's on Amazon. I'm going to leave a link to that one as well, because if you like the gnomes, no one does them better than Teresa. So anyway, is it Teresa? Teresa. Anyway, let's see, what else do we have? Let's go into the Disney book. So if you've been on my channel before, you know this book is my project book. I never expected to be as far along in this book as I am, but I have really made some progress, y'all. I think I have like 10 pages left, and my goal is by the end of the year. So what do I have? December, November, October, September. I have 4 months. So I'm going to have to do 2 to 3 pages every month. And that's about what I've been averaging. So I think I'm on pace to do it. So here, I colored this one with Avazar London pencils. I used a little bit of the acrylic pens, like Arctic pens, just to add some of these deeper greens here and the black. I find these rocks and stuff can be very challenging, and you can see that I definitely didn't get the darker tones. I'm okay with it. I do try to mimic this page, but I'm not gonna lose sleep when when I struggle with something like this. You know, I probably could have went in with a little bit more darker tones here over what I've done here, because I like the look that I've achieved here. It's just, is it this? No. So I think if I would have went back in and used some darker colored pencil here after I did the markers, I think that it could have made a big difference. But overall, I'm fine with how it turned out. I love Avazar London. Unfortunately, I don't think they're still selling pencils anymore. Here is one that I did with ChromaFlow pencils. And, you know, this book is one of those books, this is what I call my couch book. And one of the things I struggle with sometimes is how much time do I want to put on each page, because I guarantee I could spend another 2-3 hours on this page deepening up the pigment. It's not quite as bad when you tilt it and you don't get any glare. I definitely didn't get the darker tones here. The overall value, I personally feel like in a book like this, the acrylic paint method that I have talked about before really helps me establish those deeper tones. And when I do it just with the colored pencil, you just have to do layer after layer. And this is a couple of layers. I know it doesn't look like it, but it is. Could I do more? Yes, I could. Will I do more? I don't think so. Possibly. Could I go back and fix this up a little bit? I think I could. Okay, so I did this one with Avazar London pencils and a little acrylic paint pen as well. I really like how this one turned out. I like how the sky turned out. Overall, I'm really happy. Once again, trying to get the darker value, that can be a bit of a struggle because, you know, it just takes more time. And some pencils on this paper, it's not a toothy paper at all. It's very smooth. I add a workable fixative before I start, just to add a little more tooth. And it really doesn't take much to fill the tooth of the paper, and then you're left with values like this. So, you know, it's just something that I'm so close to finishing this book. I really want to finish the book, and I've learned to accept the limits of the paper and enjoy it for what it is. I enjoy trying to duplicate designs. I enjoy trying to match up what the artist has kind of done. And, you know, some of that comes with a little bit of limitation, so I'm okay with that. So those are the 3 I did this month in the Disney Thomas Kincaid coloring book. Okay, the last book I colored in is one that we've been doing as a project book for the channel. We're going to be coloring every page in this one. What book is it, you might ask? Do we have to wait for the end? No, I'm happy to tell you at the beginning. Mina Raisa Dirt to Africa by Rita Berman. I'm really enjoying working in this book. I put out a poll and I asked people what page, and I had listed this in this side here as one of the options, not really realizing it was a 2-page spread, but it is a 2-page spread. So I went ahead and did it as such. Now, I used Inktense pencils for my base layer, and then in certain areas, I went in with Prismacolor. The reason I chose Prismacolor is because Inktense has, I don't know, 5 or 6 grays maybe, both warm and cool grays, and I really wanted more grays than it had to offer, and I wanted a lighter gray. And with Inktense, you just have to be really careful if you want something this light. So instead what I did is I did my elephant himself just in Prismacolor pencils, which is why I chose those pencils, is because I personally don't think there are any better grays than the Prismacolor grays. They're beautifully valued in terms of like 10%, 30%. It is pretty accurate in terms of that, and it really allows you to blend out nicely from a very light to a very dark. And so I went ahead and did that. And then I used it here, and I used it a little bit to just kind of smooth out my blend from my Inktense and just make the page a little more cohesive. So the majority of the work is done with Inktense because Inktense allows you to work a little quicker. It allows you not to put as much strain on your hand because the Inktense fills all the white of the paper, and you end up with a really nice look. I encourage you, let me zoom in, and I'll try and zoom in more when I edit as well. But do you see this piece here? This piece was only colored with colored pencil. I didn't use any Inktense on this. And as you can see the little graininess of the white. I was okay with that, and I felt like it worked fine. Like on my tires, I kind of liked the texture that allowed. I, for one, am not someone that really hates the look of just colored pencil, even if you get a little bit of those white dots on certain pages. On other pages, I really like when you don't have it. And so, and when you don't have it, it tends to look a little more finished, maybe. But I do feel like you can use it for good effect. And I liked it on my elephant because I do like the texture a little bit. So that being said, that is one of the benefits of using something like a Neocolor 2 or an Inktense. Now, there's another page in here, and I'm only going to point this out just because it's what we're talking about now. This page I colored using only Inktense. Now, I did this back in May, but this is just 2 layers of Inktense. But look how quote-unquote finished it looks, because we don't have any white. Well, we have white dots, but not from the colored pencil. And so you don't always have to use pencil over Inktense. You can simply use Inktense. But you do have the option, and this page I like the, well, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's pastel. I do like that it is the brighter, summery kind of tones on this page. So I think that is it for this month. I have been running around like a chicken without her head for the last 2 months, and we've just had a lot going on in our lives. So I'm really hoping to dive back in to the channel more in September. So look for my coloring plans video coming soon to see what we'll be up, what we're going to be doing in September. But as always, I appreciate you watching. Make sure you do the YouTubey things like and subscribe, and definitely comment. I love chatting with you guys. So until next time, happy coloring. Thank you for watching another video from Jazzydoodledesigns. If you enjoy adult coloring content, please consider subscribing. You can now find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I welcome all comments and suggestions. Don't forget to like the video before you go. And until next time, take care.